Hello you guys, and welcome back to another video. This is another cleaning video and I am super excited to share this one with you guys. I hope that you get a lot of cleaning motivation from this. This is another look at a pretty typical day for us. So I started in the afternoon after the kids were done with their schoolwork, and as you can see, it's going to go into the evening. That, I will say, is not planned though. I actually had an issue with my camera. It fell and it's fine, but it did, the shutter on the lens got damaged. So it actually took about 2 hours or so to get that figured out, and I was able to get some of it figured out, but then when Nathan got home, he had to take over and he was able to finish it. So I was able to keep on filming that evening, but yeah, I wasn't planning on going all the way into the evening with it, but it did end up being a really, really motivating afternoon and evening for me. I love going to bed and the house is just fully clean. So I do hope that you guys get a lot of motivation from this. Like I said, was just starting after the kids were done with their schoolwork, so I'm starting with a load of our laundry, and then we're going to be tidying up all the mess from the kids' school. So as you guys can see, now that I've got the Christmas village up in that little area over there, Nora, she's having to move over to the dining table and do her schoolwork there, which is also where Dane does his schoolwork, and then Warren is still in the office and he does his work in there. It's going pretty well. It is a little more challenging having them in the same area, just in such close proximity, but overall it's working pretty well. And then having Warren in here, that helps a lot, just keeping him from getting distracted. Being 5, he's a lot more distractible than the older two, but it is a little bit wonky having them share the same table. So I am going to be pretty happy when I can put that village away and get Nora back into her little spot. So I showed you guys just a minute ago, I'm using the Caldrea spray. This is the Basil Blue Sage, I think is what it's called. And this is the first time I've ever used it. And I will say it's a really strong scent. So initially when you spray it, I find it a little bit overwhelming, but I will say the lingering scent of it is actually pretty good. I don't know that I'm going to be getting it again just because it is so strong, but I'm happy I tried it out because it is a good scent. So here is the really nasty area that I needed to clean. These are the tracks of the sliding door, and I needed to get in here and just totally clean it out. So I started with the vacuum. It didn't do a whole lot because it was just really moist and stuck on and just gross. So then I took a wet paper towel and just took all of the nasty, big, gunky dirt out of there, and then came in here with, I've got the vinegar and dish soap on this rag and wiped everything down. And then what I did was I couldn't find something that was thin enough to go into the really narrow areas of the crack. So I took, again, a few wet paper towels and the knife, and it worked really well. It's kind of a weird thing to do, but hey, it worked. And I am going to need to come in here and clean even more. As you can see, it didn't get everything, but it did do a pretty good job, and it needed it. So you guys are going to see Dane here in the video for quite a while. He really wanted to help me today. So this isn't something that I do as far as bringing the kids in and helping me when I'm cleaning. I don't assign them to be able to come in and be my helper or anything like that. Not usually. The only exception with that would be their upstairs bathroom. If I'm up there and I'm doing a full clean, I will sometimes assign or rotate who helps me in there. But he just really wanted to hang out with me and talk with me and help out. He loves, all of them really. They love when there's a spray bottle and a rag involved. They just love doing that kind of thing. So he wanted to help me with these windows and then wiping down the counters and things like that. So you guys will see him in here for a little bit, and it just kind of depends on the day. Sometimes they all really like helping me. Other days they're outside and they want to hang out with their friends and they don't want to clean at all. It just kind of depends on the mood that they're in, but I do like to involve them and include them whenever I can. And if I encourage it when they do this, when they offer it, then I find it does help when I tell them, okay, you need to clean, and maybe they don't want to. I think they're a little more willing when there's been this encouragement on their own and it's something that they wanted to do. So do any of you guys know houseplants, or specifically like succulents? I don't do indoor plants. I never have. I always forget about them. Just after a while, I get used to seeing them and I begin to look past them and I don't even notice them. So that little plant up there, I didn't buy that. That was actually a gift to Nora, my oldest daughter, from one of her friends, and it was the sweetest thing ever. And Nora is all about that plant. She loves it. I don't know really how to care for it though. I mean, we don't water it all that often because I know with succulents you don't want to and you don't need to, but now it's got those new shoots coming off the side. I don't know, is that normal? Because I don't know what kind of plant it is. So do I leave those shoots on there? Should I take them off? And then as far as how to water them, now that we're in winter and it's cold, but it's also, we live in a really humid area, so it's fairly damp in the air. I don't really know what to do. So if any of you have any advice on just general care for succulents, I would definitely appreciate it, because I am at sea with that plant. But I do really want to try to take care of it because it was the sweetest thing ever and Nora does really like it. So if any of you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments how to care for that poor little plant. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, I was not planning on the cleaning going into the evening. I am somebody that sometimes I like to clean after dark when the house is quiet and the kids are in bed, but most of the time I really prefer to have my cleaning done so that after dinner we can have family time, and I'm usually really tired. I'm not a night owl, so I'm usually really tired after dinner, and the last thing I want to do is have, a lot of cleaning to do. Sometimes, but not always, I prefer to have the house clean in the evening. But this is where the camera fell, and it fell on that entryway tile. I don't know how it didn't break. I mean, it was filming, the lens was out. I don't know how it didn't fall on the lens and crack it. Somehow it didn't though, and we were able to get it fixed. But yeah, there was about a 2.5 hour break there where we had to stop filming and deal with that. And it's a tough little camera. If any of you are looking for a filming camera, the Canon G7X Mark II is the one that I use, and it's a tough little thing. I was so surprised at how durable the lens seems to be, and like the housing and whatnot all around it. I was amazed, because that is some pretty hard tile. So anyway, I did want to get the rest of this cleaning done though, because I'd been putting this off. This is our little powder bath off of the back door area, and usually it's just the kids and guests that use it, but we haven't had guests over for a while now, so I have been avoiding coming in here, but I did need to clean. It had been a while since I came in here and cleaned everything up, so I did want to get this done and then tidy up the rest of the house and finish up with that laundry. So I mentioned to you guys in one of my previous videos, at this point I don't even know which one, and maybe more than one, but I have not been able to find like the Clorox and Lysol wipes, at least not ones that aren't massively expensive. So cleaning things like, say, the toilet, I like to use those wipes because you can just throw them away and wash your hands afterwards. So I've been using the method anti-bac spray and then getting a couple of paper towels and just using that to clean them down. And honestly, you guys are probably going to see that for quite a while, because I am just not one of those people that's motivated to, try and shop and stock up and find a whole bunch of things. I'm one of those people that like, is there a hack out there that'll work? Because I'll do that. I like to use like what I have around me and make whatever I can work. I'm just not somebody that likes to be out and about and doing a whole bunch of shopping. I try to be really, really conscious about the money that we spend. And I don't know, it just works really well for me when I can find something that's like a quote hack. Not that this is a hack, but that'll work just as well. So I'm not terribly worried right now about finding the Clorox and the Lysol wipes. Whenever I can get them, I will get them. But at this point, I'm like, you know what? This is working just as well. So we'll probably just keep going with this. So usually the kiddos, part of their responsibilities are helping to clean up in the evenings before they go to bed. Tonight, as you can see, that didn't happen, so I needed to come in here and pick up all of these books. The kids have been on a real book kick lately, and my mom actually sent a lot of books that we used to have as kids, and the kids have been just poring over those. Also, I do want to say I'm really sorry about the garland, you guys. I didn't even think about it. It has different settings and, different speeds that it will blink at, and the kids are changing it all the time. So at this point, I kind of just don't even pay attention to it. And I did not even think about it as far as filming and me speeding up this footage and how obnoxious and crazy it would look. So I am really sorry about the garland. You guys will see it a little bit more here and there in a few more clips. And like I said, I'm really sorry. Probably for this next month, having all this Christmas decor around, I'll do my best to make the editing as, least obnoxious as I can, but I can't promise that I'm going to notice everything. So I didn't want to worry about doing the full vacuuming and sweeping of the kitchen. I had vacuumed earlier in the day, so I just decided to turn on the Roomba. I like to do this in the evenings if there's just big dirt all over the place that needs to be cleaned up, and that way the floor isn't a horrible mess in the morning. So I just turned on the Roomba and I wanted to get this laundry put away. I've been telling you guys, I'm trying to hold myself accountable to seeing it all the way through and not letting it sit, because otherwise it'll just sit for like a day or two and I'll put it off, and I'm trying to get better about that because I'm terrible about putting the laundry away. But Nathan was in here. He was watching football. He had the older kids in here. They're of course in bed by now, but he was watching it on our iPad because we do have a TV, but we don't have it hooked up to television. We try as a family to not be in front of the screens as often as possible. The kids, of course, have their shows and things like that they watch, but we try to not have TV be a big part of our family. So he's just watching it on the iPad there. But this is going to wrap up this video, and I just want you guys to know how much I really appreciate you guys being here and watching and commenting and the likes and everything. It supports my video and supports me, and it's super encouraging. So I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate you, and I hope you got a lot of motivation, and I'll see you guys with my next video.